He's the man who scored in 3 domestic finals for Manchester United, a homegrown talent who lived the dream of every young fan. But behind the dazzling celebrations and the social media persona, there's a story of personal turmoil and a dramatic loss of form. It led to a fall from grace that left the football world asking one question: what really happened to Jesse Lingard? To understand the fall, you first have to get how high he climbed. Jesse Lingard wasn't just another player at Manchester United, he was one of their own. Joining the club's famous academy at just 7 years old, he was soaked in the culture of a team that prides itself on promoting local talent. For years, he was a name whispered with promise among academy staff and die-hard fans. His journey to the first team was a patient one, a real throwback to the classic football apprenticeship. He went out on a series of loans to Leicester City, Birmingham City, Brighton and Derby County, each one a crucial step in his development, toughening him up for the brutal demands of the top flight. It was at Birmingham where he truly announced himself, scoring a stunning 4 goals on his debut, a flash of the brilliance that was to come. But the dream was always Old Trafford. When he finally broke into the Manchester United first team, it felt like a prophecy fulfilled. He emerged as the top scorer on a pre-season tour under David Moyes, firing home 4 goals and signalling he was ready to make his mark. He was energetic, technically gifted, and had a special kind of intelligence in his movement that coaches absolutely adored. He wasn't a flashy step-over merchant, he was a player who made the team better, a connector who found space where there was none. For a club searching for a new identity in the post-Ferguson era, Lingard represented a link to its very core: youth, loyalty, and a bit of that Mancunian swagger. For a glorious period, Jesse Lingard was the man for the big occasion. It just became his thing. When the lights were brightest and the pressure was on, he delivered. This wasn't a coincidence, it was a pattern. It started in 2016, in the FA Cup final against Crystal Palace at Wembley. With the game locked in a tense stalemate, Lingard produced a moment of pure, explosive genius. A stunning volley that flew into the top corner, winning Manchester United the cup. He wasn't just a participant, he was the hero. But he wasn't done. He scored in the FA Community Shield win later that year. Then, in the 2017 EFL Cup final, he was on the score sheet again. Scoring in the final of all 3 major domestic competitions is a feat only a handful of players can claim. Lingard had etched his name into the club's history books. The 2017-18 season was his absolute peak. Under Jose Mourinho, he was phenomenal, hitting a rich vein of form that made him one of the most productive attacking midfielders in the league. His performances were so good that he became a key player for England at the 2018 FIFA World Cup. His incredible goal against Panama was a highlight of a tournament that saw the whole nation fall back in love with its national team. He was living the dream. A kid from Warrington, a United fan, scoring cup-winning goals and starring in a World Cup. The J-Ling's persona, the dance celebrations. It was all part of the brand of a young, successful footballer enjoying his success. But with that success comes immense pressure, and the peak of a mountain is a shaky place to stand. The only way from there is down, and for Lingard, the slide would be brutally quick. The 2019-20 season was the beginning of the end for his first chapter at United. On the pitch, the man who seemed to have the Midas touch was suddenly ice cold. He went an entire calendar year without a single goal or assist in the Premier League. The confident, instinctive player was gone, replaced by a shadow of himself who seemed hesitant and lost. Fans, who once sang his praises, turned on him. The social media persona that was celebrated in the good times became a stick to beat him with. He was accused of being more focused on his clothing brand and his online presence than his football. But what the public didn't see was the crushing weight on his shoulders. Behind the scenes, Lingard's world was falling apart. His mother had been battling depression for years, a struggle he had kept to himself. Her condition worsened, and in 2019 she was hospitalized. Suddenly, Jesse, the international footballer, was also the main caregiver for his two younger siblings, Jasper, then 14, and Daisy Boo, who was just 11. He later confessed he was coming to training on autopilot, feeling like the world was on his shoulders. The joy was gone. He described turning to alcohol at night to take the pain away. The abuse hit a terrifying peak after an FA Cup game against Derby in 2020, where he was viciously targeted by fans as he boarded the team bus. The incident left him shaken, and he admitted he didn't even want to be on the pitch anymore. He confided in his manager, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who was supportive, yet professionally, the trust had broken down. Lingard felt he was given fake promises about his role in the team. When the club blocked a loan move to Newcastle in 2022, it felt like the final betrayal. He was trapped, struggling mentally, unable to find form, and with no clear path forward at the club he had called home his entire life. Just when it seemed his top-flight career was fading away, a lifeline appeared. In January 2021, West Ham United took a chance on him, signing him on loan for the rest of the season. What happened next was nothing short of miraculous. It wasn't just a revival, it was a full-blown resurrection. From the very first game, it was clear this was a different Jesse Lingard. He scored 2 goals on his debut against Aston Villa. The swagger was back, but this time it came with a new sense of purpose. He played with a freedom that had been missing for years. Away from the suffocating pressure of Old Trafford and lifted by the confidence of his new manager and teammates, Lingard was reborn. He was simply unstoppable. In 16 appearances for the Hammers, he scored an incredible 9 goals and provided 5 assists. That's a goal involvement about every 86 minutes. He won the Premier League's Player of the Month and Goal of the Month awards for April 2021. His solo run and goal against Wolves was vintage Lingard, pure pace, power, and a clinical finish. He wasn't just playing well, he was single-handedly firing West Ham towards an unexpected spot in Europe, which they secured. His form was so spectacular he even earned a recall to the England squad, though he just missed out on a place at Euro 2020. The West Ham stint proved what many had always believed. Inside Jesse Lingard, there was a world-class talent just waiting for the right environment to unlock it. A permanent move to London seemed like a done deal, a perfect match. But football is rarely a fairy tale. Manchester United's high asking price and West Ham's budget meant it never happened. Lingard had to return to Manchester, leaving the place of his rebirth behind. The return to Manchester United was a crushing anticlimax. The momentum from his West Ham heroics vanished as he was once again pushed to the sidelines. Despite scoring a dramatic late winner against the very team where he had shone, West Ham, his opportunities stayed limited. At the end of the 2021-22 season, his contract expired. After 22 years, Jesse Lingard's time at Manchester United was over. Not with a bang, but a quiet, sorrowful whimper. A move to newly promoted Nottingham Forest followed. It was a bold switch, and Forest made him their highest paid player. But the magic of London couldn't be found in the Midlands. In 17 league appearances, he again failed to register a single goal or assist. While he helped their EFL Cup run, his league form was a painful reminder of his struggles at United. At the end of his one-year deal, he was released. What followed was a humbling 7-month period in the wilderness. A 31-year-old former England international, a player who had scored in 3 cup finals, was a free agent. He was training alone, posting videos to prove his fitness, and just waiting for the phone to ring. It was a time of huge career uncertainty that saw him linked with clubs all over the world, a stark fall from his days as a Premier League star. In February 2024, Lingard made a move that stunned the football world. He signed a 2-year deal with FC Seoul in South Korea, a transfer called arguably the biggest signing in the K-League's history. It was a gamble on himself, a chance to find joy in the game again, far from the glare of the English media. The start was tough. After just a few games, his own manager publicly criticised his effort levels, and a knee surgery sidelined him early on. But Lingard, hardened by everything he'd been through, kept going. He scored his first goal for the club from the penalty spot in June 2024. His professionalism and experience eventually won over his coach and teammates, and in a remarkable turnaround, he was named club captain for the 2025 season. For a time, it seemed he had found a home. However, in December 2025, it was announced that Lingard and FC Seoul had mutually agreed to terminate his contract, with the player wanting a new challenge. He ended his spell with 19 goals in 67 appearances, with his final act being a goal in an AFC Champions League match. And so, at the age of 33, Jesse Lingard is once again a free agent. Reports in early 2026 have linked him with a potential move to the Dutch league with Feyenoord, managed by his former United teammate Robin van Persie, as well as clubs in Italy, and a potential return to England. He stands at another crossroads in a career defined by dizzying highs and gut-wrenching lows. The story of Jesse Lingard is a complicated one. A mix of raw talent, immense pressure, and deep personal struggle. He was the homegrown hero who reached the very top, the man for the big occasion. But he was also a son carrying the weight of his family's pain, a public figure battling private demons. His explosive revival at West Ham is a tantalizing what if, a reminder of the brilliant player that's still in there. His journey is a powerful lesson in the unseen battles modern footballers fight, where mental health is every bit as critical as physical fitness. Now, as he weighs his next move, the football world is left to wonder. Was the West Ham loan the last brilliant flash of a talent derailed by circumstance? Or does this incredibly resilient man have one more chapter left to write in his tumultuous career? What do you think is next for Jesse Lingard? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories that shape the beautiful game.